Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, hope you can hear me. So this class we are going to discuss about the laboratory steps in the fabrication of a porcelain fused to metal or metal ceramic ground. So why we are discussing, actually they won't be asking you, but simply at least you know what are the different steps we are doing, or at least 2 marks question they might ask, like condensation and glazing they might ask. Just for that purpose I'm going to just discuss the whole fabrication of a metal ceramic crown laboratory procedure. Okay, so first I'll be just showing you the video, then I will show you the PPT. So these all things you know, right? Are you able to see the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you know all this investing burnout procedure. This is all. So you know that metal crown is fabricated by any of the methods. Like either it may be casting, or electro deposition, or swazing, or CAD CAM procedure. Your metal crown is produced. After the metal crown is produced, you have to do the just a minute. No? See here you can see the metal crown is already produced, and after the metal crown is produced they are checking the width of the coping. The metal coping, it should be having minimum zero point 0.3 mm width. It should not be less than that. It should, if it is less than that, it is going to bend. Okay, so metal crown is fabricated. You can see the metal crown which has been fabricated by traditional casting procedure. So what is the next step you have to do? Already I discussed in metal ceramic. What you have to do is, now you have to place this in a what? Porcelain furnace. Right, you have to place this in a porcelain furnace. So when you are placing it in a porcelain furnace, what is going to happen? Till now it is there in casting machine. After that you are going to place it in a porcelain furnace. Then whatever the oxides which are there inside the metal, that is tin oxide, indium oxide, those oxides will come onto the surface of the metal. Okay, that procedure is called as degassing. Okay, so after degassing the oxides will come, and then after the degassing is done, after the, see you can see this porcelain furnace, it is a conventional form, it is very old video. So okay, it is placed in the porcelain furnace, and the temperature which is adjusted for the oxidation firing. So after that oxidation, these are the ceramic powders which are available. So these ceramic powders or kits are available in different forms, like you know that opaque porcelain, body porcelain or dentin, shoulder porcelain, gingival porcelains, incisal porcelains, and glazes they are available. So first you have to apply the, after the oxides are formed on the surface, you have to apply the opaque porcelain. So you can see this, the armamentarium which is used. It is just powder particles which are mixed with a special liquid. So these powder particles in liquid will form a plastic mass, and this plastic mass should be applied by means of the special brushes which are available for ceramics, and these are restored in the form of crowns. So this is they are applying opaque layer. They are applying on the metal crown. You can see the opaque layer they have applied on the metal crown. The opaque layer purpose, you know that it is just for masking of the color of the metal. Opaque porcelain is applied, and also it bonds, this opaque porcelain only will bonds with the, form the chemical bond with the metal. After that firing is done again. Then you can see this is the body or dentin porcelain. Body or dentin porcelain is one and the same, which forms the bulk of the portion of the ceramic crown. And this is also, after it is applied, it is subjected to the firing or sintering procedure in the furnace. After that, in the porcelain furnace, this is subjected to the firing. This is actually horizontal type of furnace which is available. This was available in olden days. Nowadays, vertical furnaces are available. So next you can see that in the furnace they have been placed. Then after that again incisal porcelain is applied. This is all oxidation cycles, different types of cycles he is showing. After the firing is done, it looks somewhat like this, like chalk like appearance it will give. After body or dentin porcelain is applied, then you have to apply the incisal porcelain. Incisal porcelain is responsible for giving translucency to the crown, which will reflect the light. It will provide little translucency. Otherwise, if you are not applying incisal porcelain, it will be like a chalk like thing. It will be more opaque and more porous. Okay, after the incisal porcelain is also applied, then it should be checked in the patient's mouth. So you can see when they are applying again, you have to place it on the die. You have to contour it according to the adjacent tooth which is provided. You have to contour the form, size, cusps, everything. Okay, after the incisal porcelain is applied, finally you have to go for the application of glaze. What is glaze? I'll be telling you. So glaze is nothing but a highly polished layer which is applied. So it may be there that glaze is of usually of two types. That is add-on glaze or add-on or overglaze is same, and self glaze or auto glaze means what? You have to reheat that crown after you check the high points, everything in the patient mouth. You have to reheat the crown surface. So what will happen? The outer layer which is present on the surface, which is in the chalky texture, that will melt and flow. Okay, so the outer layer is going to flow, melt, and it is going to flow into the pores. It is going to seal the porosities, and it gives a natural surface, the reflecting surface. This is the body porcelain which has been shown. It has been fired, and this is the incisal porcelain which has been applied, and again it is fired. So that's how a porcelain crown is fabricated. So the extra portions, whatever is there, you can just remove it by means of rubber wheel. Then roach is used to polish, and finally glaze is applied. And then you can see after application of glaze, it is looking as if it is a natural teeth. So this is how it is fabricated. So now coming to the PPT. So the laboratory steps in the fabrication of metal ceramic crown, this now I showed you. So the metal crown may be produced by any of the method like your casting or your electrolytic deposition or phased metal or any CAD-CAM procedure. After that, the metal is cleaned, sandblasted with alumina to make it little rough. Then you have to place it in the porcelain furnace. Okay, after you place it in a porcelain furnace, you have to do the porcelain build-up or the metal crown. And that procedure of doing build-up is called as condensation. And then the placing it in the furnace is called as firing or sintering. And then final procedure is called as glazing. You can see the special brush which is there, and the powder and liquid are applied step by step. And it is contoured until the contour is nearly equal to the adjacent teeth. So what is first condensation? This might be asked for 2 marks. Condensation is nothing but the process of adaptation of porcelain onto the surface of the metal. What is its purpose? Why you have to do the condensation? To remove the excess water from the material and to decrease the firing shrinkage. Okay, just when you are applying by brush, when you are mixing the ceramic powder with the water, when you are applying, the water may remain inside. And when you are doing the sintering process, because of those waters, the porosities may occur. Because of that, you have to just vibrate it onto the surface. After you just apply it slightly with tapping pressure, you have to vibrate it so that the excess amount of water comes onto the surface. So that excess amount of water you are going to remove. So when you remove like that 2 to 3 times, if you repeat it, the powder particles will come very close to each other and they get little condensed. Okay, and the water is removed. Then you have to place it in the firing chamber or sintering for sintering. So these are the methods of condensation, vibration, spatulation, and brushing or capillary attraction. Vibration means just simply you have to do it by hands. You have to vibrate it, and water, the water which is coming on excess water which is coming, you can remove it by means of tissue paper until the water is almost evaporated. Then coming to the spatulation, with the spatula whatever you are applying, only that spatula only you have to tap it onto that, so the extra particles or water particles will come onto the surface, or but you can do the brushing or capillary action. Okay, so by means of these three methods, you can remove the excess amount of water and helps in the condensation of the ceramic powders. So after you have done that, this condensation is done in three layers. So you have, just now I told you, I showed you the video that opaque porcelain you have to apply. Then after you fire it, again you have to apply the body or dentine porcelain. Again you have to fire it, and then incisal porcelain you have to do. And you know the purpose of opaque porcelain, which helps in the masking of the color and helps in chemical bonding. Body or the dentine porcelain forms the most of the ceramic buildup, and it will provide the color. Whereas incisal porcelain will provide the translucent layer of the restoration. Then after you apply all these layers, you are doing the procedure called as sintering. Sintering, it is having three stages. That is, sintering is nothing but the fusion of the particles as I have shown here in this diagram. The particles will come closer, the pores will decrease at a later stage, at a final stage. So these are the three different stages: low bisque, medium bisque, and high bisque. Low bisque means particles are completely separate from each other. They don't have any adhesion in between the particles. And shrinkage is very less, and they are highly porous, just like a bread. Imagine a bread. It will be like that, just powder and liquid have been mixed, and it is like a bread. After you fire it for the first stage, it will be like medium bisque. Medium bisque means particles started to coalesce. They have started to melt. They have started to coalesce. So the particles are better adhered, but still some porosity is there, just like your biscuits. When compared to breads, biscuits are a little better, right, in condensation, in gaps and all. So again, you are keeping it for firing. So at the last stage, what is going to happen? The particles are going to fuse completely with each other, and there is no gaps in between the particles. The complete cohesion has occurred, and there will be this, after this shrinkage won't occur. So this is final shrinkage that it is seen in the high bisque stage, which is a complete solid like particle. Still, it is like a chalk piece. Imagine a chalk piece. After high bisque stage, it is still like a chalk, which is having pores, and it is having like a opaque opacity. So these are the ceramic furnaces which are available nowadays. Whatever I shown in the video is the olden video. So it is like almost is a horizontal type of furnace. This is a vertical furnace. You have to place the ceramic crowns in this, and this is going to close. Sorry. Right, so after this you have to do the glazing. You can see after doing the glazing, the chalk like appearance will grow, and it will provide a highly glossy surface that simulates a natural teeth, and this will allow the light to pass through, which is giving the natural appearance, right? So this will, what is the purpose of glazing? Glazing helps in providing a lifelike appearance. It enhances the aesthetics of the patient, and it promotes the as. And one more thing is, it seals the gap. You know that on the chalk piece still some pores are there, so it seals the gap in between and prevent the crack propagation. And because it is sealing the gaps, food won't enter into those porosities, so it promotes the hygiene also, right? Apart, the glazing, the function of glazing is to provide a highly smooth, glossy surface that simulates the natural teeth. And because it is sealing the gaps which are present, it helps in reducing the crack propagation, thereby increasing the strength to almost 25 to 40%. And it enhances the aesthetics and oral hygiene. Right, so these are the advantages of glazing. So what are the different types of glazing which are available? So glazing is of two different types, that is auto glaze and auto glaze or self glaze, and auto glaze or add-on glaze. So auto glaze, I told you, it is just heating of the same crown into by placing in the porcelain furnace, so that it will fuse at the fusion temperature just for 1 to 2 minutes, and that will melt and flow into the pores and seals the porosities. So that is auto glaze. Whereas over glaze or add-on glaze, as name is indicating, you are going to add some extra material These materials are nothing but the ceramic powder particles, which consists of more amount of glass modifiers and some extra pigments which are applied and then they are fired. So basically what is preferred, whether it is autoglaze or on glaze? Autoglaze is more preferred as you are just heating the same surface and the same particles are flowing and it is sealing the gaps. Whereas overglaze or add-on glaze is you are adding the extra layer of the ceramic and the pigments are added on the extra layer. So over a period of time that glaze may go off, that extra layer may go off and the ceramic your ceramic crown color may change. That's why over glaze or add-on glaze is never preferred. Instead of that, auto glaze is always preferred. Understood? So that's how in this 2 marks questions they will ask that maybe your glaze or your condensation. So these are the only 2 marks questions which is asked in the laboratory steps of fabrication of a metal ceramic crown. So I'll just show you some better PPT, better video of the fabrication of a metal ceramic crown. I know that was the old this thing which I have shown. So this time I'll show you some better video. So I hope you understood. Yeah, take attendance meanwhile. I'll show you the video. CR.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, take attendance. I'll show you the video, another video.
Yes, ma'am.
One, one, two,
One present, one present.
Present.
three,
Two present.
Present.
four,
Present.
five, five, six,
Present.
seven,
Present.
eight, nine, 10,
Present.
Present. 10 present.
11,
Present.
12,
Present.
13, 14,
Present.
15,
Present.
16,
Present.
17, 18,
Present.
19,
Present.
20,
Present.
Harita 17 present.
20,
Present.
21,
Present.
22,
Present.
23,
Present.
24,
Present.
25,
Present.
26,
Present.
27, 28,
Present.
28
28,
present.
29,
Present.
Present.
30,
30 present.
31,
30. 31 present.
32,
Present.
33,
Present.
34,
Present.
35,
Present.
36,
Present.
37,
Present.
38,
Present.
39, sorry, 40,
Present.
41,
Present.
42,
Present.
43,
Present.
44,
Present.
45, 46,
Present.
47,
Present.
48,
Present.
49,
Present.
50,
Present.
51,
Present.
52,
Present.
53,
Present.
54,
Present.
55,
Present.
56,
Present.
57,
Present.
58,
Present.
59, 60, 60,
61
61,
present. Present.
62,
Present.
63, 64, 64, 65,
Present.
66,
Present.
67,
Present.
68,
Present.
69,
Present.
70,
Present.
71,
Present.
72,
Present.
72,
72. Present.
73,
73. Present.
74.
74. Present. Present.
Absentees 8, 32, 45, 64. Ma'am, done, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
45 present. Okay.
Okay, now I'll show you the video. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see how the layering is done in the Vita. Actually, this is the thing which is there in our lab also. Vita build-up layering method. Vita furnace is there. So see, you can see that on the die they have, see this is a normal die which is there on which they are going to do the ceramic build-up. Beautifully they have shown how to do the, apply the opaque porcelain and body porcelain, the ceramic powders which are available. The special liquid which is given along with the ceramic powders. So these are the brushes. You can see the special type of brushes which are there, which by which they are applying this plastic mass onto the die and they are recontouring it according to the adjacent teeth. So they have applied this. They will do the condensation later. And then see, this is what they have applied. They're just showing it that they have applied the dentin porcelain. Again, they are applying the enamel porcelain. So the enamel porcelain will be little transparent and it is of whiter color. That this is over counted and compared to adjacent they are over counted because they will shrink, they will lose the water and shrink. That's why they are bulky or counted. So the second layer is also built up and now the porcelain, now they will do the firing. And finally the incisal porcelain. Just incisal surfaces they are applying the porcelain. Only on the incisal surfaces to give a transparent appearance. So this is how they have fabricated. After they removed from that tooth, they are countering the proximal surfaces which are left, which are having gaps. And this is the firings which they are adjusting on the Vita furnace. So they have adjusted the firings, and this is the stand. This is the what same. This one is available in our department also. And same this vertical opening furnace, Vita furnace. See, you can see after firing how it has become. It has become like a normal thing. After that, like close, it has become, and the volume has decreased because of the shrinkage, because of the sintering process which took place. Next, again they have applied the glaze. Again they have kept it for the firing. Still you can see still little pores are there. So they have grinded the surface and again, then finally they have applied the glaze. 2 to 3 firing cycles. After the glaze, you can see it will be completely, it will be like a natural crown. So that is the advantage of your glaze, right? That's how your ceramic crown is produced, okay? Or the metal. This is actually in this case what they have shown is complete, even the core. You can see that first time what they have applied is not body porcelain, core also they have applied with the ceramic only, then body porcelain, then incisal porcelain, then finally glaze they have applied, because this was a all ceramic crown, that's why they have shown like that. Whereas if it is metal, the core the coping will be made up of metal and then the body incisal and glaze is applied. Here even the core has been applied with the ceramic. So again I am just repeating, it's very important topic. So next class you study, I'll tell you the questions. Recent advances in ceramics you have to write. First 9 marks question. Methods of strengthening of ceramic you write, that is for 4 marks. And then classification of ceramics, everything is there in the first essay only. Okay, and bonding of the ceramic. So these 3 questions you prepare and come, and these are you are going to write in the next class. Okay, not Friday, next Monday like that. Okay. So this finishes your ceramics topic. Next class we'll discuss some new topic. Okay, but tomorrow only I'll discuss some other topic. Okay. So any doubts in this chapter? Any doubts you can ask me. This is a difficult chapter. I know it. There will be doubts if you study. There won't be any doubts if you won't study. Any doubts? No doubts? Shall we move?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this finishes your ceramics. Okay. Then bye.